Hey guys, hope you're having a great day, and I just want to give you a little background of what we're about to start doing, and that is I'm going to start speaking to you as though you're my journal. So I've been building a business for the past 4 years, and it's felt like a very slow process, and there's been a lot of processes that I've went through, and I'm pretty public with a lot of my information, but you only see small portions of it, and I thought it might be helpful if you saw all the actual processes. You saw that I'm actually a human with real emotions, real frustrations, real excitement, and hopefully it encourages you to do something as well, that you can do it, because I'm not any different than you are, and neither is any other entrepreneur you see out there. And what I'm also hoping that you get out of this are maybe some systems that you can apply to you, whatever it is that you're doing. So basically, I'm going to just talk to you like I talk to a journal entry from this point out, and you're going to see thoughts and processes that nobody's ever seen before. So enjoy. All right, it is January. What day is it? January something. January 9th, 2020. 2020 is pretty exciting because it marks the turn of a decade and we're in the 20s. Before it was hard to say 10s or 05s. You can't really say 00s. I mean, you can, but it's weird. So we're kind of at a point where it's exciting that we can actually say 20s now. It's also weird because that means that the 90s were 20 years ago, and it just doesn't seem possible. So right now, what I'm working on is I am working on getting all of my systems written down, because I want to be able to help people just enter a system instead of having to take the years and years that it takes to develop all of these systems. So, like, how often to post to social media, how to schedule all of that out, how to implement all of these different systems that I've had a lot of trial and error over, that's taken me 4 years to get this far. And from those systems, they can incorporate their own brand, and I'm pretty excited about that because that's just what I set out to do, was help people build their dreams, help people to know how to build their dreams, help people believe in their dreams. And so putting these systems in writing is going to give people a basis for that. I thought it would be coaching. I thought it would, like, there's so many different things that I thought it would be. I didn't think it would be building a business and helping them build a business, because I just didn't have the skill set. But over the past 4 years, it's been a real advancement. It's been really crazy. Today, so I'm currently working a job that I don't like, and I am working on applying at jobs to get a different job so that I can develop a new skill set to help my business, as well as get out of a place that I've been in for 6 years, and I'm now, the resources that I've collected from there are pretty much dried out. And over the past few months, it's been a really different way to look at jobs. I've been reading a lot of books, reading a lot of podcasts. I just went through 3 of Robert Kiyosaki's books. The last one was on investing, and it gave me a new perspective on how to look at jobs. And over the past, I don't know, 6 months maybe, how I view money has changed a lot. And so this kind of went hand in hand with it. In the past, I've always looked for jobs as a source of money, and in reality, that's the main reason that I'm working. However, now in addition to that, I'm looking at jobs as a source of a new skill, a learned skill, furthering skills to be able to apply to my business. And now that I kind of have a better direction of where I want to go, what I need to develop, what works for me, what doesn't work for me, I can finally do that. Whereas 10 years ago when I was applying for jobs, I knew I didn't want to work, but because you have to pay bills, I didn't know what to do instead. Well, it's not even work. I like working. I just don't like working the jobs that I've worked. And it's not like I'm a hard worker, so it's not even working. I've that words in the past I've even like wished to win the lottery, even though I don't play the lottery. Wished that I could win the lottery to be able to have more money to invest in my business, so that I can work harder. So it's not even a matter of work; it's just a matter of what I've been doing, and the problem with that, though, was I had a lot of interests, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew that I loved singing, but I thought I left that behind me, which I picked it back up about 4 years ago, which is what started all this business endeavor, which is also why I didn't know what I wanted to do, because I knew I had a heart to help people, and I knew that I had a passion for music, and those two passions, hand in hand, had to go hand in hand. I thought it would be mainly singing, but I think that it's shaping out to be something very, very different, and it's actually really exciting. And I've learned a lot of new skills, and I have a lot of new skills to learn still, but it's been a really cool process. So anyway, today well, not today only, but I've been looking for a new job for the past few weeks now, and the current job that I'm at, we're getting ready to reroute, so who knows what's going to happen in a month anyway. It's just, I don't know, it's just, I'm thankful that I've had this opportunity because it's a sales and marketing job, so I've been able to learn a whole bunch of new skills as far as profit margins and marketing and all of these different things, and it's had some flexibility in the past. It doesn't so much anymore, but in the past it had some flexibility, which allowed me to be able to work on the business more and put more hours into that and whatnot. So I'm very, very thankful for the opportunity that I've had these past 6 years of developing those skills, even though I didn't even know that I would need half of them when I first started out. But it's at the point where the resources that I've gotten from the company, it's not a very growth-minded company, and so the resources that I've gotten from the company, I'm pretty much at a dead end. So it's time to find a new job. Plus, with as much as I've been so unhappy with where I'm at with that, and there's so many jobs out there, and I've got enough skill levels that I can get a different job. That it's ridiculous to stay here if I'm that unhappy. So I'm looking for a new job, but I'm still super happy with the stuff I'm doing for the business, the content creation. This right here, I started journaling regularly about a month ago, maybe. I hadn't done that really in quite a while. When I was in high school, I used to journal every single day. I had thousands of journal entries because I think I started my junior year of high school, and I stopped somewhere in my really, really early 20s. I don't know why I stopped, but I did. Unfortunately, I lost all those journals in a flood, so I don't even have them to refer back to. But I know that getting the processes out, getting what's in my head out, is helpful, but it's also something that not a lot of people see. So, but I also know that when people do find old journals from other people in the past, other people in history, like somebody from the 1800s or Anne Frank or all these different journals that people have found, it's like, oh, this gives me a glimpse into their life, and it helps me to figure out my processes and to get some direction and insight into somebody else's life. And so that's why I'm sharing this. So in hopes that that will help in the same way. That's another thing that I've been studying a lot lately is the 1800s. That's been giving me huge insights and just recognizing the difference in eras. We were in the industrial age. I don't know that I ever really truly experienced the industrial age. I think I was kind of at the end of the shift between industrial age and information age. And now that we're in the information age, it's just interesting to see the differences. It's also interesting to see which I want to write a blog on this, but it's interesting to see how we were so desperate to get out of Great Britain because of the taxes. And that, the revolution, the Boston Tea Party happened because of that. It was a huge deal. We were so anxious to get away from the taxes, and then we come to America, settle in, and vote for taxes. So of course it's not working. It's baffling to me, but also really, really insightful. The whole saying, history repeats itself, is so true. If we don't pay attention to what the history books taught us, what people in the past have done that has worked and not worked, and if we don't take what has worked in the past and that isn't working now and change it, then we're destined to repeat the same mistakes. We're destined to go right back into the same things. We're getting charged taxes on taxes on taxes, so we're only getting about half the paycheck that we're making, and the vast majority of us are not making much money, and so it's keeping poor people poor. And so reading Robert Kiyosaki's books has really been helpful in understanding how money works and how to get out of it, out of that vicious cycle. So that's been really, really good. But also, something that I've learned over the past, 6 months or so, is, because Tony Robbins' Money, the Master of the Game, is another one that I've been reading. But it's interesting to see, though, how if you have a scarcity mindset towards money, then that's exactly what you're going to get. That's exactly what I've gotten so far. And once you shift that mindset, things start to shift. And I've really been seeing that. So there's also The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And that's, if you're offered, I'm going to get the numbers wrong because I'm not a numbers person, but if you're offered $1 million, and that's, you can have that lump sum, or you can have $20 doubled every week or something like that for the rest of your life. $20 doubled every week, something like that. You're gonna make like $5 million. Those are all awful numbers. I don't know the actual numbers, but you could. It's that concept. So if you do the latter one, you're not gonna see, and I think he even goes to like a penny or a dollar or something like that. So it's a super, super small amount. And I actually think what he says is $1 a day, doubled every day for the rest of your life, or something along those lines. But the point is, when you put these small amounts in, it grows and grows and grows, and at first it seems so slow, and the person that ends up making $1 million is like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? But then you put all this in, and then eventually you end up passing, not just passing them a little bit, but passing them a lot. And they're like, well, what happened? And you're sitting there going, man, it finally paid off. I forgot what my point was. I had a thought process and I lost it. But anyway, so another one that I've been listening to a lot is Gary Vaynerchuk, and that's partially what inspired me to start these journal entries on a podcast so everybody could hear them, because he talks about how not a lot of people like walk people through their process, and I've kind of done that, but not to this extent, not to hearing everyday thoughts and feelings and emotions and ups and downs and the processes are what I want to teach you guys, what I want to help you guys with. So I don't know what I'm saying right now. I'm really tired, but I really wanted to make a journal entry, and it ended up going longer than what I anticipated, but from here on out they probably won't be quite this long. Or they might be, I don't know. We'll see. There was a whole lot of information flowing through my head, and so that was kind of all over the place. I'm pretty sure that's pretty much what it's going to be every time I get on here, is all over the place information, because this is just me processing like I would when I journal. So, yeah, today was not anything exciting, frustrating actually, as far as the job. Not the job itself, just having to work this job. And that's the other frustrating thing, is I'm choosing to work it because I don't like the alternative either of not having a job. So just like working through the emotions of all of that and what exactly I need to do. And as far as that goes, and resting, because I've been in and out of being sick. It's winter season, and I think too I'm working through a lot of emotions, and I really believe to the core of my being that emotions have a huge effect on your health and your immune system and everything. Just, I think a lot of, not saying everything, but I think a lot of physical ailments and health issues and all that, I feel like the vast majority, maybe even, stem from emotional things not being worked through. So there's that. And even if that's not true, like, they're still good to work through, because if you don't, you carry them around and you get stuck. And I experienced that for most of my life, and then I started working through them, and 4 years ago was when I was really coming to the end of, not the end of working through them, because you don't ever really fully work through all of your emotions, because you're human and more accumulate, but the end of like real breakthrough, and the beginning of real breakthrough, and the end of who I once was, and the like crushing weight of the emotions that I had before. There was a lot of poison, so to speak, in me that I needed to get out, and I'm so thankful. It's a lot of hard work, and it takes a lot of time, but it is so worth it, because now I'm able to actually deal with the emotions. I can start a business and deal with the emotional weight of it. I can go through some pretty rotten situations, which I've been through some recently, and come out on the other side, not just okay, but actually a better person. So I'm super thankful for every experience that I've had in my life. Some crazy good ones, some crazy bad ones. Right now I'm feeling like I need to go somewhere. I haven't been anywhere in a while, and I think I work in and out of town a lot. So I work out of town a lot, and so one of the towns that I work in is almost 2 hours away, and I think next week, it's a Friday, so I think next Friday I may end up just like staying in a hotel there and then coming back the next day or something, because I'll already be there. I won't have to take any extra wear and tear or drive time or anything like that. It's got a free breakfast, so basically all I'll need to do is pay for the hotel and maybe one other meal or something. So dinner. I don't, maybe I would have to pay for lunch as well, but it would be a pretty cheap trip. So I just need to do something to get out of the norm, to get out of there every day. Something else that I'm working on is flipping makeup. I've got things on my website for sale. I've actually been making sales. Part of that's compound effect. Part of that is the money mindset shift. And then part of that is just the thing that I've been working on the past 4 years is adding value to people's lives and putting out content that will do that. And when people catch fire of that, just making purchases from me. And so I'm starting to see the effects of that now. So, yeah, that was all over the place. I'll be back tomorrow because it's been 20 minutes and I'm going to go to bed now. All right. Signing out. 1/9/2020.